I think one of the fun things that happened. So we did Be Awesome together,
We did. Oh,
and
Bar Fox.
yeah, with Bar Fox, who is by far one of my favorite people in the world at Dragon Con, and I seriously make. I just figure out a panel so I can sit down and talk with him for an hour every year. That's even though we're both in the same city, he works in the TV industry and I don't, and very just busy. We
Yeah.
never come across you. We know some of the same people. We've worked in some of the same circles, but Dragon Cons where we get to hang out. So I make a panel and we sit down and hang out. That was fun. And Valencia stood up and talked about breaking out of her shell and reaching out. And she's like, I don't really do cosplay, but tomorrow I'm doing this cosplay. I've got this big mustard shirt, and I got these earrings, and it's a Kendrick Lamar reference. And I hope people get it. We're like, man, you're gonna be awesome. So let me tell you, Tyra, Joe and I did Wise and Nerdy the next day. Valencia came to Wise and Nerdy, which she'd always,
Aw.
in Valencia's way, she basically said, Charles, I thought you sucked, but this was awesome, and I like it now. So something to that effect of I didn't really watch Wise and Nerdy, but I like it now. But she got up to ask a question, did some coolness with us, sat down. Somebody a few minutes later got up to interact with our show, right? Wise and Nerdy is very interactive at these live cons, and he goes, I'm sorry, I have to say, Miss, I don't know if you meant to do this, but mustard. And he did the reference. He's like, oh my God, you were so amazing. And it was so cool to see the dot connect. You don't always get to see that. I'm going to try this, and this is what I hope to do. And then the very next day to see it live happen. And then she said a number of people actually had recognized what she was trying to do. And that's so much
awesome.
fun.
So there was something else that happened with Bar Fox that was like crazy. You didn't know this because you were off trying to tear down all of our audio right before we go live and caused me to have to.
Oh yeah, I haven't told you that story yet, John. You'll like it.
Yeah, it's wonderful, John. I had to improv. I am not an improver, except for maybe I am and just don't know it.
You just had to talk.
I did a lot, but
we should have just told you to sing some Taylor Swift songs up there.
I don't sing, but we were talking about remembering our first kiss, and Bard couldn't remember his, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I know exactly who it was, Matt Still," and he's like, "Excuse me." He knows he knows Matt Still, which
Bard like,
was
excuse me,
and then we took a selfie together, and he sent it to Matt, who is on the board of the Grammys. He's Elton John's producer, and Bar Fox knows him too from the whole entertainment world. So it's like worlds collide. You never know who you're going to meet at Dragon Con.
I got to digitally meet a celebrity that I'm now talking to for next year. That I can talk about off air, but we at Dragon Con don't talk about that stuff on air until the con is done and they showed up. Which this year we actually had some amazing guests. The McElroys really did some great shows and did some good interaction. I know, Tyra, you were on a panel with Clint
and his sons. I had Clint on one for the perfect panel. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let it go. I call it the Elsa panel is my things. But Clint was like, why am I here? Because as Joe will attest, he don't care.
I know.
And then which two were on the panel with us? It was Justin and
the youngest.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry, McElroy fans, but
I will go find out while you chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really like. So one of the behind the scenes, one of their asks this year was that they only do 2 panels together, and so
they're big panels,
yeah. And so they got to spread their wings a bit more this year and do things individually. And Charles did a fantastic job of trying to integrate their various backgrounds with the panels that they got assigned to, and so it was nice to see them interacting more than just as a unit.
Yeah, it's Justin and Griffin we had.
Yeah, Griffin. Yep. So,
and they were super good, and they were good about not taking over a panel, which can sometimes happen when you have stars of that level. They can sometimes not think about it and end up taking over also because people will ask them questions and not everybody on the panel. But luckily, the questions that we got were ones that everybody could answer. And I think we did a pretty good job of getting everybody's voice heard.
Yeah, I really like it when the audience, their questions actually have to do with the content of the panel, because sometimes people will
Oh,
get
yeah.
up there and they'll be like, I'm going to ask this particular celebrity a question that has nothing to do with the content of the panel because I am at the mic. So,
The-
but yeah,
Yeah.
they did at least the panels that I went to, the audience members did a really good job of staying on topic.
I want
Yeah.
to say the magic of DragonCon has kind of returned, right? After COVID, it was a little rough. New people came, smaller audiences, smaller crowds, but it feels like it has just, there's no explanation for some of the stuff that's happened, right? More people are showing up down in the basement to fill panels on all the tracks, but we
Yes.
really had a big thing. But the first year we had the McElroys, I had to stand up and announce on one of the panels, like, this is about monetizing your podcast and about the business of growing into what you want to do. So this guest is here for these reasons, including Travis is here to talk about that. There will be a Q&A for the McElroys later at this date, please, because people just didn't get it then. That's only 4 years ago, something like that. And this year we didn't have to do that all. Like you guys are saying, it's every panel seemed to be the people understood why the panel was there and how to interact with it for the most part. I'm sure there's probably a one-off question somewhere, but
I had a little problem in Awesome Women trying to get it back to talking about Awesome Women at one point. But thankfully I had help because other people had questions and I could move it along.
Is it something you can relay here? Like
no,
how
it
got
was just
derailed,
that somebody had really specific questions about their situation that was not related to being an Awesome Women in digital media, which is fine. And we went down that path a little ways, but they were wanting to continue to ask questions. And I was like, no, there's somebody behind you. I need to get to them and make sure we get to everybody's questions. And so that kind of helped break that up. And then afterwards, Comfort had a conversation with the person, and that went, I think, really well. So it opened the door for that conversation. But that was the one time during the weekend where I was like, okay, I gotta get this show back on the tracks, because we're not talking about things connected to Awesome Women. We're talking about a very specific kind of situation.
Yeah, it seems like a tough thing for moderators to deal with, because I saw that happen a few times, and trying to steer them back in, or hey, the next person, and then they get but, and it's like that's
teacher long enough to shove them off. But,
yeah, good
but
for
the
you.
other thing as a moderator is trying to make sure everybody gets their time to talk
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
And some people are like, even Channing, who's been on our track for years, I had to remind him to talk. You know, he'll get so wrapped up in listening to everybody. I'm like, no, sir, you're not getting off that easy.
You also have to remind him to get what, Joe? What's now a tradition at the chat?
Yeah, to pick up his little sign that he's left the last couple of years and it's gone home with you.
And I bring it back every year.
Yep.
And he spends a decent, I mean, it's probably not a ton of money, but it's plastic.
It's a nice sign.
It's like spray coated. It's really awesome sign.
Yeah, with the QR code to his content and whatnot. It's a very clever idea to have that, if he would just remember to keep it.
So what we should do, Joe, is see how much it is to make those and make them like a dozen, but instead of his QR code, put our Wise and Nerdy QR code on it. Like, here, man, we got you this just in case you keep losing them.
I like how he only remembers one of his podcasts.
Yeah. Hey, Be Awesome Together is going to be the rock star by the time we get next year. Wise and Nerdy, I think, is going to be the one needing
Wise and
more
Nerdy is
help.
awesome.
Yeah.
Underscores. Don't forget the underscores.
That's right.
We got to get you some kind of logo shirt about embracing the underscore. See what team people fall on.
I'll design that.